Hello guys, Chris here, welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm going to be testing a GeForce GTX 1080 Ti in Call of Duty Warzone 2. This one is the Gigabyte OC model of the card. We are running it with the latest Nvidia drivers as usual, and I'm not manually overclocking it. You can see all of its specs right here in Tech PowerUp's GPU-Z. It has 11 gigabytes of GDDR5X memory, and it released back in 2017. And over on the left, we're pairing it with a Ryzen 7 5800X3D and 32 gigabytes of RAM. CL14 3600 MHz. Let's get into it, shall we? First up, let's go over the settings. I'm starting at 1080p. We're also going to test 1440p and 4K in this video, and we're using the Ultra settings preset at the moment with no FSR. I really hope FSR works wonders here because this doesn't really work all that well on Ultra. Let's go now. Okay, here we go now. A lot of people dropped here, I think. Oh, we're screwed. Alright, so 1080p Ultra settings. FPS are not really looking that great, especially not for a 1080 Ti. I expected it to perform a heck of a lot better than this, let me tell you guys. I think it will drop from 60, actually. What is this? 3? Oh, it's a drone. Interesting. Can we fly it? It's not a drone. Okay, let's move on. Will it drop? Okay, at least it doesn't drop from 60 FPS near the water, so you can have a 60 plus FPS experience all of the time if you want that at native 1080p. However, using this anti-aliasing at native 1080p, it looks extremely soft. Kind of like XeSS, actually. It's exactly the same as XeSS, actually. Yeah, that's interesting. All right. Oh, wait a second. This is a shotgun. Maybe we should use it over here if we find somebody, you know. Okay. Yep. Okay, there he is. All right. That was an awesome idea. An awesome idea. I was going to say terrible because usually my ideas are terrible. But no, today it actually worked. Oh boy, I cannot believe that. We got a kill already. Let's keep on going. So Ultra settings look pretty decent, but you know, the minimum settings, actual minimum settings in the game look very similar. So I really don't feel the need to max this game out. Well, we're not really maxing it out. There's still extreme settings, you know. But yeah, I don't feel the need to play on Ultra settings. I'm just playing like this for those of you who really like the visuals. Now that we're not seeing any water on the screen, we're seeing up to 90 frames per second, and now it should drop a little bit more because vegetation is also really intensive, so we're down into the 70s, but not a problem. Let's test FSR 2.1 now on quality. Did I die? No, but I'm hearing some freaking bastard. What are you doing there? I bet he was using some radar hacks or something, because he was looking around there. I was hidden in my bush. Is it just me, or sometimes FSR breaks itself in the menu? Like, this is not how it's supposed to look. Oh boy, if I disable it and enable it again, it should be fine though, alright? So, yeah, quality. There we go, that's alright now. Well, looking on the positive side, we're back here. We can actually oh my god, there's a guy over there. I'm gonna start counting the FPS, and we can compare it to what we saw previously. I think we were seeing like 80, 85, and now we're seeing 100 FPS. We saw drops into the 60s, and now it's well above 80 at all times. So it's starting to feel somewhat of a high refresh rate experience, right? I mean, you're not going to max out a high refresh rate panel, even a 120 hertz one, but it is very smooth. On a high refresh rate panel, you can definitely feel the difference between 60 FPS and 100 FPS on average. And now the 1% lows are also improved, even though it didn't really drop into like the 40 FPS range previously, and it didn't really drop into the 50 FPS range now. But you know, that's always good to see, a little bit higher 1% lows as well. Oh. I didn't notice this. Was this always here? That's interesting. Okay, anyways. Yeah, it's pretty damn good. I'm starting to believe that even 1440p with FSR should be playable on the GTX 1080 Ti. And finally, once you don't have any water on screen, it gets 120s. So much smoother of an experience right now. Even though I'm only using 60 hertz, I know what 120 feels like, and I know that it would feel a lot better, of course. All right, there's the guy. Wait. Alright, no shields on him, so he's worse than me now. Let's take cover on that little rock right here, okay? There we go. Where is he? There. Come on, boy. God damn it, I hate how people play this game. They don't show themselves to me. They don't want to die, you know, kind of like me, actually. Oh! And he killed me. All right, now we're playing it at 1440p. Can I please... Why did it get me out of the menu if I can go to the menu in the cutscene? Anyways, 1440p using the same settings. No FSR at the moment, so ultra. Basically. Okay, here we go. Now, this looks way better than 1080p. First of all, it was looking really washed out at 1080p for some reason, probably because of my monitor, but the contrast wasn't really there, and now it's such a better experience. Unfortunately, in terms of FPS, it is kind of terrible, as you can see. For a first-person shooter game, you don't want to drop below 60 FPS, and it definitely does that here at 1440. I think with FSR 2.1, it might be the sweet spot here at 1440p, but I don't know. Maybe I would actually play this one at like competitive settings or minimum settings with some decent textures and call it a day, because once again, this game looks really similar on lowest settings as ultra settings for some reason, and it just performs better, and you want that stability, of course. But yeah, I don't feel very comfortable playing like this. I think we're gonna die because of the FPS this time around. When we do die, it's all because of the low frames per second, obviously, right? And at least outside of water areas, you can get those sweet 60 FPS. As you can see, it's not too bad, you know. It will still drop near the vegetation there, but yeah, it's not as bad for sure. Seriously, why is it always here that somebody gets me? Like, what the hell? Now, let's enable the FSR 2.1 here. I'll set it to quality at 1440. It looks pretty good, and let's get back to it. Before we start, can I just say that with the 1440p resolution, it looks so similar with FSR 2.1 as DLSS does. I can still see like a lot of shimmering in bushy areas and vegetation. Those look a bit off, but everything else looks almost like DLSS, which is very, very surprising. Look at that. Yeah, that doesn't look good whatsoever. Also, the FPS in this particular area of the map are pretty damn good, right? 90s. Here we go again. Let me just check if there's some weapon here. Of course not. We're always unlucky. Well, at least a little bit of a shield is also welcomed. Let's go. So getting 70s and 80s. If it doesn't drop from 60, I'll be fine with this experience. For those of you with 1440p monitors that want a good visual fidelity experience, this is quite nice, yeah? And it does not drop from 60. Wet hands right there. Very nice and shiny. I like it here. And now another bit of water, no problems. After what we've seen at 1080p, it's actually surprising me a little bit here at 1440, guys, with FSR, of course. It's damn smooth and it's super playable. And if you want to get rid of those little frame time spikes in the frame time graph, which are just micro stutters and are not really that noticeable, honestly, you can just lock the FPS. What are you doing on top of that? Like, seriously, who the heck does that? Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? Dude, stop it, please. I don't even have more shields, dude. Oh my god. How are people like this in this game? It's so annoying to me. Anyways, around 70s around here is actually really decent as well. This is not a problem. Now, what about 4K resolution using ultra settings? No FSR2 at the moment. Like some GPUs like the 3060 Ti, even the 3060 in some games struggle a lot at native 4K resolution, but then once you enable DLSS, it actually becomes really smooth and playable. So I'm curious here, will it become smooth and playable with the 1080 Ti and FSR? Will it give us a similar experience to that? In terms of visuals, we've already seen that it gets really close to DLSS in this game, aside from the grass quality base. Seriously. Ah! Annoying bastards! Ah, gosh! Well, we would drop from 30 FPS near water, basically, at native 4K resolution. So we definitely need some FSR 2.1. I'll set it to balanced, because I think that's more reasonable for this resolution. Wow. I gotta say that balanced FSR 2.1 at 4K is looking pretty damn near native. It is really good looking, but the FPS aren't anything special. To be honest, I was expecting not a great experience here at 4K, right? It is 4K after all, and well, the fact that it's getting still 40 plus all of the time is impressive for a 1080 Ti. It's ultra settings and 4K and balanced FSR 2.1, which looks the same as 4K native. Very impressive stuff. But yeah, I think I wouldn't really do this. Also, let me check this out. These still look really weird, even at 4K. With FSR. I'm not feeling it, okay? Again, for a game like this, you really need those sweet 60 plus all of the time, and it's not what we get. Let's try FSR 2.1 on performance now for a little bit. Okay, we get like 10 more frames. Now we're around 60 frames per second. Things on the ground are looking even worse this time around, but, you know, it's not bad looking overall. I can still see that this is not native resolution anymore, so there is a quality difference definitely between performance and balanced FSR at 4K. It's looking a little bit softer, a little bit weirder, especially when you move your weapon around. There is a lot of noise around it, and on the water as well. But I mean, it is 60 FPS on average, so that's kind of impressive. If you're playing on like a TV, for example, this might be okay with a controller or something. Again, not for a competitive person whatsoever, but if all you want is good visuals and 60 FPS on average, it's getting that. Anyway, I want to take a look at the vegetation here on performance, FSR. It's not bad looking. It's a little bit better than like quality FSR at 1440p, I will say. These things are just blinking. I'm gonna take a look at it on quality FSR and 4K, not because I would play like this, because it's 30 FPS and 40. I'm just curious to see the actual quality of it, you know? And I can still say that there is an over-sharpened, blinky look to it. That was the guy who was hunting us. Oh yeah, right, this is a duos match. Totally forgot about that. Okay, for the competitive settings now, I got 1080p using the minimum settings with 100% resolution scale, no FSR at the moment, normal textures and everything else set to the minimum settings preset, and it is getting way higher FPS. It feels way more responsive. Even though I'm using 60 Hz here, it still feels more responsive and faster, like the input lag, you know? Alright, this is way better now for a high refresh rate experience, guys. But let's get to the water part of it, drop from the bridge as well, because that's the most intensive thing, of course, and see if it drops and how much it will drop to. Okay, what the hell is that scope, or that over the scope? What is that? I don't understand. Anyways, let's continue. 135 here. That's insane. That's such a difference coming from Ultra, yet the graphics are pretty similar. It's a little bit more shimmery now and less soft because we don't have the SMAA or the Filmic SMAA T2X enabled. Oh, what these bugs. And I guess it slightly drops from 100 FPS at times whenever you are dropping from bridges and stuff, but it jumps right back up into the lower 100s. I think we might actually be able to achieve those 144 on average with FSR 2.1 here at 1080p. And for competitive people, that's of course what you want. No. Run away, Crisp, run away. Don't even look back. Actually, I gotta. Okay, just to see the water there, 105 FPS. All right, everything is fine. I think we survived. At least we survived so far. Oh, this weapon is actually terrible. No way. Didn't even take the shields off of him with a full magazine. Like, what the heck? These weapons, man. Is he hearing me? No? Wait. No, he heard me. No, there's another one. Are you Ah, God! Why? Well, now that I calmed down, it's time for us to test FSR 2.1 on quality. Alright, look at those sweet 120 plus FPS pretty much at all times, aside from water areas, obviously. If you drop down there, it's still 120 plus all of the time. Alright, I thought it was gonna be a little bit worse, so those 144 on average should be very possible here, guys. That's what I like to see. It looks very close to native resolution here at 1080p with FSR 2.1, even if it's not the best implementation of FSR 2.1 that I've ever seen. I would play like this, guys. It feels snappier for sure, and once again on a higher refresh rate panel, 144 Hz, 120 Hz, it will get the most out of those panels. So this is the way to play this game, in my opinion, if you want to be a little bit competitive at it. What the heck, that looks like a head right there, but then you zoom in and it disappears. Alright, this is bad. Come on. What? No, there's another one shooting at us. Are you? I cannot believe this. They're always there, camping. I thought I got this one. What? Deep breaths, my friends. 1440p is next. No FSR, minimum settings, normal textures. Okay, 100 FPS around here. That's quite nice for 1440p low settings. Well, you know, it's low settings, but it still looks very good. It looks almost the same as Ultra. So yeah, much smoother at the same time than what we saw on Ultra settings, to be expected. And now it doesn't even drop into the 60s here near the water. So it's going to be a really nice experience at 1440p native. If you have a native 1440p monitor, which you might do with a 1080 Ti, it's still very capable for that. Yeah, it shows that you can play it absolutely fine at your native resolution. No problems. Of course, I would still enable FSR 2 here with the 1080 Ti, not because I need more FPS, but because I can get more FPS with pretty much the same visuals. So where the 1440p native resolution with Ultra settings was a little bit of a disappointment, you know, getting like down into the 40s, I'll say that the low settings is actually quite good, quite surprising maybe for a lot of people. Again, this is an old GPU, this is a very intensive title, and it's running it at 1440p absolutely fine. Let's move to the forest area, getting down into the mid-90s at times. It's quite good. Oh, there the guy is. Wait a second. We might be able to do this. Nope, of course not. I don't know why. They take so long to die, dude. And everybody has the good shields this time around. And I'm the one who dies. Of course I am. This is probably the game that I hate the most out of every game out there right now, guys. I'm sorry. I'm probably not gonna make more videos on it. Like, this is so frustrating. I've been here 2 hours already. So now 1440p using FSR 2.1 on quality. Here we go. Okay, oh, I hear people breaking windows. This is not good. This is not good. Is this with FSR? Yes, it is. I expected a little bit higher FPS, honestly. Okay, now I see the differences. So instead of dropping into the 70s, we're dropping into the 90s. That's really good, honestly, but no 120 on average, at least not yet, and especially not in Zarqwa Hydroelectric, you know, this area, which is very, very intensive, obviously. Alright, so around here, 110s, 120s at times, 90s. I expected a bigger jump in performance, honestly. What did we get previously? Like 100 FPS average? We're getting like 10 more frames? Alright, let me go. No! Another day, another game lost. But things need to be tested, so we're back to 4K resolution, but now at the low settings with no FSR. And, well, it's getting 70s around here, which means that near water, even in the warm-up, seriously, dudes, stop it, I just want to show them things. Oh my god. As I was saying, near the water, things will inevitably drop, and oh boy, do they drop. Look at that, 40s. So I'm gonna go ahead and test it with FSR right away, okay? On quality first. I think quality FSR is still not enough to put us above 60 at all times. Like, while dropping, it's usually a little bit better than this. Yep, it's already dropping into the 50s. 4K is such a demanding resolution, dude. It's crazy, actually. Stop! Oh my god, dude. Even with a friggin' pistol, can't you just grab a weapon first? Jesus. Alright, yeah, 50s around here. I don't like that. We need to drop it down to balanced FSR. 4K is just out of the capabilities of a 1080 Ti these days. Yeah, 1440p, not so much. Still very, very enjoyable, but 4K, it's too much. There's a guy right there. We're gonna die in just a little bit, and maybe all of this clip will be useless. Oh my god, the guy's still waiting for me. Are you... I really don't understand. Oh, now it gave me an UAV. He's right here. God, you fuck you. Yes, yes, we got a kill. Oh my god. Ah, took us a while, right? Took me a while, not you. You guys are probably way better than me in this game. Especially if you're watching this, that means you play it, right? Like, I can't do anything. Oh my god, so many people actually in the map. There's a guy right there. Alright, so it seems like balanced FSR at least is capable of achieving 60 plus here at 4K. So that's it for the test, I guess. We've tested the most intensive area already, which is the water, and it didn't drop. So we can die in peace now. Also, around here, it doesn't even drop from 60, so you can rest assured it's gonna stay above 60 like 99% of the time. Maybe with a massive explosion it might drop, but I doubt it. It's really good, actually. So these are the settings if you want to play at 4K res. Oh, now we're starting to kill people. Okay, yeah. 2 hours into the video, we're starting to kill them. Oh, it only took us 2 hours to get the hang of it. Or to get lucky and not die instantly. There's another one. God damn. Alright. Use this. Where is he? I don't see him anymore. I'm gonna run for it. I'm gonna run for it. I want to see the FPS here. Come on. Where did he go? Dude, oh, there he is. I found him. I'm glad it's over at least. Thank you very much for watching this one. I hope it wasn't too frustrating to watch as it was to record it. Yeah, it's just Warzone. I might actually try some Battlefield 2042 next week because I actually am good at that game and I enjoy playing it. So yeah, stay tuned in for that. As always, love you all. Bye-bye.